I go, hey, I'm sitting here in a very bittersweet moment. In a very bittersweet moment. Yesterday, I posted about, yesterday I took the video. I don't know when it's getting posted, but previous to this day when I am filming, yesterday was when I was standing outside my chicken coop with eking rage out of my eyes. And even till later that day, into the evening, he said, I really need you to explain to me again why you were so pissed off. I thought we were doing this filming was enthusiastic consent. It was going to be enthusiastic consent. And I was stating that I didn't want to be filmed and it's enthusiastic consent or nothing. Yeah, you're right about that and I'm wrong. Yep. And then he continued, and you really need to stop saying I'm a narcissist. You need to stop saying I'm a narcissist because I have empathy. I have empathy, and I can tell you all about it. I hurt when you hurt, And so he goes into this whole spiel and lectured me for about 45 minutes about all the empathy he has. Completely disregarding the fact that I asked him to, can we just have dinner? Do we have to do this? Okay, Chris, you have empathy. Great. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So then when I said, it'd be really great. Okay, you have empathy. So it'd be really great if, you could respect the fact that I've asked you to please get in a schedule. It would be important to me to be in a schedule. And he fucking looked at me with that darkness and fucking hatred in his eyes, with that fucking smirk that I've become so accustomed to. And he looks me dead in my eyes and says, I am on a schedule. And he's right. He is on a schedule. He is on a schedule that does not including his wife. It does not include parenting. It does not include homesteading or farming, but if you ask him, he will flip the fuck out, explaining his lists and all the things that he's doing. Now, he must have heard me talking about the bins and shit and what's going on with this, because now he's fucking Captain Helpy Helperson, right? Now he's Helpy Helperson, and now he's going to run all over the place doing all the things. He's going to do all the things, and he consulted with me and said, I wanted you to look at this list that I'm trying to get done for myself, and I want to have a conversation with you about it because I'm sure you have more feelings about it because I know it matters to you and blah. Yep. And then I'll hang my son's little treasure thing that I asked him to hang months ago, and he'll tell me, because it's not on the list, and he'll say, I was going to do that. Or I'll look at the shark that was repurposed from a fishing boat in Thailand, which mattered to me. That's still broken on the the mudroom floor. And at some point, you just have to stop fucking caring. At some point, it's just not worth the energy or the breath to engage, and you just walk past it. And if you say anything, you'll get yelled at. And he's going to clean it up, and it's already on the list. And or relax. Calm down, relax. I already told you I was going to do it. And it sat there for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. And so now he's been emboldened by this new marriage thing. Dead marriage, right? Dead marriage, new marriage. And it's in his mind, it's a total fucking reset. And we can reset with amnesia. because it was a reset intended, obviously, to restart. Understanding he was going to be in counseling. Understanding he was going to give me a legal separation divorce paperwork, which I'll get to that. But now it's like emboldened him because the condescending there's been a quickening to all of this now. He's more biting, more condescending, more blame shifting. And if I could just see how much he loves me, if I could just set my resentment and anger toward him aside and see how much he's really trying and how much he cares for me and how much empathy he has for me, I wouldn't be so fucking terrible. And we wouldn't have to have these fights because then I would be happier because it's always me. It is always me. Always, always, always my fault. Always my fault. And I'm sitting here choking back the tears. Because I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. And at least Dr. Jekyll is somewhat bearable. Is empathy passing? Like, it's not genuine empathy, but it's empathy passing. But Mr. Hyde, man. Mr. Hyde's fucking scary. Mr. Hyde is fucking scary, and he doesn't even see it at all. I never know when the switch is going to be. My husband or my son will hear him raging at me, while everyone else in his life has probably never once seen him raise his voice. He will never show himself dysregulated to anyone else. But I bear the brunt of his hatred. I bear the brunt of his anger and his failings and his insecurities. And so, in this bittersweet moment, I have here a memorandum of terms in the event of divorce and legal separation. And I am sitting here reading this, thinking it's a small victory that I'm proud of myself in some way because I've gone to the police. They tell me to go to domestic violence. I go to domestic violence. They tell me they can't help me. I try to get a lawyer. They say, no, you can't say narcissism. No, you can't say abuse. We can go and we can try to get you a protection from abuse act, but has he ever hit you? Well, not on U.S. soil, you know what I mean? Like, and so. So I've gone and tried to talk to anybody that will help me get out of this. And so many lawyers won't do contested divorces, and so many, like, I don't know, legal aids or whatever, they won't call me back. And I keep getting pamphlets from domestic violence to call. And they'll help, and nobody calls me back. And I've talked to people that know, like, people, and there's nothing anybody can do. It's up to me. So I can choose to be an emotional punching bag, or at times an actual punching bag. I can have false police reports written on me. I can never know what ends up in my life. Who is showing up? Is it going to be Dr. Hyde or Dr. Jekyll today? Which one is it? Am I going to have to be lectured and yelled at about how much empathy he has? And if I could just see how much he loves me and what's a connection with his wife, and if I could just see, then everything would be okay. Everything would be okay if I could just see how much he loves me. No one can help me. No one can help me. Get the fuck out. And it's fucking scary. It is fucking scary. And now he tells me, you don't call me. You can stop saying that now. You can stop saying that. I'm not a narcissist. I have empathy. I'm not a narcissist. So I guess the other day when he took my phone and recorded him being a narcissist and admitted to all the ways he's a narcissist, and for days telling me that he's going to go to counseling and he's going to address it and whether or not he believes he's a narcissist. Like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the fucking stories and the lies and the... I can't keep up. And I hold my son sometimes at night. Or if it's been a day that we've been fighting, I just go and sleep with my son because it's the only time I can get sleep. It's like sleeping with the enemy. I have this Fitbit now tracking my sleep. I'm usually between like a 72 and an 84. I don't sleep well. Like, I guess it's not abysmal, but it's not great. It's like I haven't slept. It doesn't feel like I've slept in years. But the one night I did get good sleep, this is when my son wasn't here. He was at a friend's house sleeping over, and I was sleeping in his room behind a locked door, and I slept. I got a 90. It's the best sleep I've had. And I don't know how long. And right now, I should be celebrating this bittersweet moment. I have a legal separation agreement notarized in my hands. And I have no way of sitting here really knowing if this is my, like, phase 3 level up that I'm working with Mel Robbins to achieve, or if this is like the precursor to my murder of me trying to get out. I have no idea. I have no idea. I made him take out. He had in here. In the unlikely event that something should happen to me or my son, he gets to be the contingent beneficiary of my entire estate. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? In the event of a divorce or separation, that's a motive, motherfucker. Like, are you serious? Like, I am not going to end up a fucking Lifetime movie. Fuck that. You do not, no, you are not my contingent beneficiary. I will leave it to fucking Poppy before I would leave it to him. And he's like, congratulations, Jess. You get everything you want. You got everything you want. Except a marriage that I can feel safe in, or a marriage I can feel safe leaving. So this is me living the dream over here. This is me. And ultimately, I have no idea if this would even hold up in court, but it's the best I have right now. This is the best I have. Trying to protect this farm and my son's home from someone who is just so completely incapable of being an adult. Like, the thing is, like, look, okay, we have our differences, fine. Like, why can't it be that we say, I'll tell you what, I love you and I will always wish you well. I really will. I love you and I will always wish you well. But we got married a little too fast and it's pretty clear this isn't working for either one of us. So maybe we should just, get a divorce. No harm, no foul. We'll just do things real polite. We don't have to, and then just call it. But he refuses. So So I am supposed to be pulling myself together, getting ready to get on a business call. And he just, the get that there is to got, or the got that there is to get, he will never get it. I could explain, I could literally spend the rest of my life trying to explain to him having needs and wants or my desires. Like, I just want peace. I just want peace. I just want peace and harmony and quiet and love and like gentleness and compassion and like actual empathy with a partner that like actually gives a fuck about my emotional or mental well-being. And that's just not what this can ever be. It is not what it can ever be. I mean, he just does not get it. And I can pray every which way that he's going to go to counseling and that's going to be, you know, the talisman that fixes it all, right? But narcissists don't heal. Narcissists don't heal. I don't know how many episodes or whatever videos that I've filmed up to this point. I think I've only been filming maybe less than 3 weeks, whatever. Less than 3 weeks. And he's vacillated on whether or not he is a narcissist, not short of 27 times. Before and after, he goes and takes my phone to record what he's willing to accept about himself from a printout from the Mayo Clinic. But yet anything that comes out of my mouth, it just, I can't even tell you how many times like he's actually bumped into me or walked right past me and has said like, oh my God, I didn't even see you there. No, I'm well aware. I'm well aware. I am like the object of this obsession, this addiction that he thinks he has for me. But there is nothing real. None of it's real. It's all a fucking illusion. And he will never get it. I always get the future dangling. I'm going to go to counseling. I'm going to fix it right up. And then the next minute he doesn't need counseling because he's not a narcissist. He's fine. And he just realized how much empathy he has for me. So he's good. He will never know me. He will never care to know my heart or my soul or understand me. That's not what this is. And he tries then to explain that he can't be a narcissist because if he was already a narcissist, he would already always go get his other supply and he would already have other supply. And I don't think so. Not when so much of everything, his anger, his hatred, his rage, his hopes, his dreams, it's all directed at me. I am the recipient of all of it. And none of it. So I will read this real quick. Memorandum of terms in the divorce of legal separation or legal separation. The real property known as here is mine. He leaves it to me and Ronan, so then I will take a mortgage out, basically. I can't really get into this now. I have to get on a business call. I don't want fucking support. I don't want anything except my freedom in the event of a legal separation or divorce. So he put in that he can't buy, because I don't want him just showing up here. I don't want him to like, oh, okay, he doesn't live here, but he lives next door. So he can't buy within 10 miles of me. I don't know. It's notarized, signed. And I don't know if that's enough. But I'm exhausted. And he's right. You know, he's right. As long as I put on a smile, as long as I am this emotionless Autobot that is also his personal genie, who will smile and be pleasant and not actually have a need or a want, will fuck him anytime he wants, you know, I'll make dinner, I will praise him. Oh, I will praise him until my last breath. Relentless praise. And constant validation. As long as I constantly validate him and I speak, when spoken to, as long as I speak something that entertains him, or, you know, I achieve, but not too much. And I smile, but not too big. If I laugh, but not too loud. And as long as I am helpful, but I don't take over, and I allow him to have control, but also surrender. And he doesn't have to look at my phone, but still my beautiful eyes. But also, as long as I see deep down into his heart, into his vulnerabilities, where of course he cannot ever access, as long as I can do all of these things along with my magic, as long as I can have my magic wand and my magic 8-ball and my crystal ball, and I can do everything right and never have a need or a want and never ask anything. And then if I just be surprised when something actually does happen, or praise him, you know, relentlessly when he gets one thing done, and clap, 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 clap. And oh my God, my hero, while knowing he never will actually have my back. And I can never actually know for certain that I'm safe around him. As long as all of that comes into play, we can get along, and more, right? That and more. As long as I accept the diminishing and the condescending and the blame shifting. You know, he was going through this contract explaining to me that, you know, the things that he needs to process, you know, what I've told him I want in here, because he's got to put it in legalese. And he just wants to make sure I understood what a contingent beneficiary was. And like, oh my God, like just, it's so insulting. And he just doesn't see it. And he never will. And it's really sad, because I think deep in his core, I think Dr. Jekyll is pretty fragile and vulnerable, probably sweet and romantic and kind and loving the way he wants to be. But Dr. Hyde is calling the shots on any given day, even if he looks like Dr. Hyde on the outside, or Dr. Jekyll on the outside. Even if he looks like Dr. Jekyll on the outside, Mr. Hyde's winning, and he always will, until there is any genuine level of accountability. And you have to have accountability if you're going to change. And narcissists refuse accountability. They just refuse. And they have to have empathy. Like when I cry, he has to care, right? Instead of smirk. And he'll tell anybody that'll listen, oh, he cares. You know, he cares, just like not a lot. You know, or, oh, I hurt when you hurt. And, you know, it's all part of it. But for now, I have to get on this call. I am trying, like, it's so hard to compartmentalize all of this. And it is like the fog of narcissism is real. The fog of narcissism is so real. Last night, I can give you a quick anecdote that last night I was laying in bed talking to my son, and he was very visibly upset, and I was asking him what's wrong. And he was telling me just how much he pisses him off. And he's like, do you hear like the way he talks to you and the way he's screaming at you while he's telling you he doesn't yell and raise his voice, but he's fucking screaming at you and he's gaslighting you and he's making you like cry and he doesn't care while he's telling you his empathy. And so it's very confusing. This roller coaster is goddamn relentless and I'm exhausted, but we will stay positive. We will stay positive that this was a monumental shift today and a monumental step in the right direction for us and our safety and security going into the future. So, hey girl, hey, thanks for listening and we'll chat soon. Sending you love and hugs.